Alright, welcome back. We are almost done. Um, we want to have the assurance that the streams we are casting out there are actually being saved and that they are not being removed after 14 days, because as of now, with everything we have set up, that would be the case. So let's have a look at the Twitch homepage again. So you should all remember that when we went to settings and streams, that we turned this one on, store past broadcast. If you have not done so, please turn it on if you have any interest in saving your VODs. However, this is only saving for up to 14 days. So you have to do a little extra step if you really want to save your content for a longer time. And for this, once you have done some streams, you go to Content and Video Producer. So here's a list of the streams you have been doing before. All right, and now you should see, for example, your testing stream or whatever you have done. Okay, and if you have not touched this before, all of your streams should be looking like this line here. There's like some name, blah blah blah, and then there's like this highlight button. Okay, so that means this is one which will be deleted after 14 days. Okay, as you see, like all these older things in here, they do not have the highlight button. So if you want to preserve this for eternity in terms of internet, you want to actually create a highlight of this. So I'm gonna create a highlight of my testing stream. I don't know, I will delete it afterwards, right? So you just click highlight and you come to a screen. And here, this is a good opportunity if you're doing a casting to chop off, for example, the countdown in the beginning. Because like if someone is watching a recording, they do not really need to watch a countdown. They want to get to the action as quickly as possible usually, right? So you can cut off the countdown, for example, by just moving this to the point where the countdown stops, and then let's have the highlight start when your stream really starts. If you want to be lazy and you just want to highlight everything, you can just put it to the very end, and that's fine too. Remember to give it a good name over here, otherwise it will say highlight colon whatever you had before. And then just hit publish highlight. And so there will be some processing happening, and that is fine. You can create a thumbnail or not, that's all fine. You can just hit save changes, and this will be processing in the background. Okay, so now this will be saved on Twitch in air quotes forever. Like it will be there until like Twitch breaks or whatever's, right? So Twitch will not automatically delete this anymore, and that's a good thing. That's probably what you want in your casts. So if you want to be even more forthcoming to your viewers, you probably want to export your videos to YouTube as well, because the viewing experience on YouTube is just better than on Twitch. Like the loading times on Twitch are sometimes like not great. So what you can do is you can go and take either your broadcast directly or your highlight, and you can export it once it is processed. Oops, sorry, I did not want to click that. You can export it to YouTube. So this is the export button here. For that one to work, you need to connect your Twitch account with a YouTube account first, though. And this is done under account settings. Connections, and then you can scroll to YouTube, and for you it will say here connect, and it will ask you to there will be a little pop-up, and it will ask you to connect this with your YouTube, and if you're cool with it. So given that you're cool with it, it will afterwards look something like this. And now your Twitch and YouTube accounts are connected. Going back to the video producer, if you hit export, you give it a name, you give it a description, you say if you want it publicly visible or not, you can give it tags, here's of a storm for example, and you start the export. And it looks like absolutely nothing happened. And that's the correct behavior, unfortunately. So it will tell you nowhere that right now Twitch is sending this video to YouTube. Okay? It's really unfortunate. I don't know why there is like no process bar anywhere, progress bar. I think at some point like there's like a small message popping up here like for 3 seconds when it's done. But like unless you are willing to stare at the screen for the next couple of hours or minutes, you will miss that notification. And if you have like a long cast, it will actually take hours. So this is what it is. You hit the export button, it is working in the background. So if I go to YouTube, and because this is a very short video, it might actually be already processed. So if I go to YouTube here, and I go to my videos, and here it is. So it is there, it is currently processing the HD version, it's in here. And yeah, but you get like no notification, like YouTube is not telling you about it, Twitch is not telling you about it, like nobody is telling you about it, but it is happening. Okay, but that's just it. So after, like if you have a long video, after a couple of hours, check if it's happening here or not, if it shows up or not, and if it shows up, everything is great. If it does not show up, you can try to export it again. If the old export is still running, I think it gives you a message and says that the old process is still running. So then you know that it is still going. But yeah, just check after a couple of hours. The good thing is that it's really just happening between Twitch and YouTube. So you can close your browser, you can shut down your PC. It doesn't matter. You can do it overnight. It does not need any further interaction from you. So it is just working. So that's the good thing about it. And this is how you preserve your streams and your casts and make them more accessible for your viewers. And so now let's go on to the next episode where everything did come together, and we're going to talk a little bit about what you can do with the setup.